God bless every one of you joining this broadcast right now. This is Apostle King Favor. God is set to turn your life around. God is set to do a new thing in your life. God is set to take you from point A to point B. I bless the name of the Lord for this month's prophetic theme. He said, I shall see the wonders of God. I shall encounter the wonders of God. Listen to me, wherever you are, this prophetic theme of this month is very powerful. Wherever you are, you need to be declaring it. As you wake up in the morning, declare it. Before you go to sleep, declare it. In your place of work, declare it. Wherever you are, declare it. And as many of you that by the special grace of God, you will be opportune to receive the flyer poster for this month's prophetic theme, I want you to put it on your Facebook profile page. I want you to put it on your Instagram. I want you to put it on your WhatsApp profile pages for people to see the glory of God at work in your life, for people to be connected to that glory that God is about to impute into your life. This month is a unique month. I shall encounter God's wonders. I shall encounter the wonders of God. It's very prophetic and it is for you. I have come with a word of liberation today. I have come with a word to transform the life of someone today. I have come with the word of the Lord God to liberate your destiny. I have come with the word of the Lord to transform your life. I have come with the word of the Lord that will take you to the next level in life, and that will take you from grace to grace. When God wants to liberate a man, he sends his word. And the Bible said, through his word, men were liberated. Through his word, men were liberated. He said the word of God is the power of God unto salvation. So when God sent his word, when God sends his word into your life, he is sending his power into your destiny. Now when his power hits your destiny must react. Listen to me, there are so many people under the bondage of the devil. There are so many people that are they need an encounter from the Lord. There are so many people that are hungry for God to showcase his wonders upon their life. Listen to me, after this message, your life will never remain the same. After this message, you'll be taken to that level of glory. After this message, you will see and encounter the wonders of God upon your life. Today I'm going to be unveiling the secret of wonders through obedience. The secret of wonders through obedience. The secret of wonders through obedience. Break your Bibles with me to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15. I'll be reading 20-21. And Samuel replied and said, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings more as much as he delight for us to obey him? And he said, obedience is better than sacrifice. Listen to me. You may be so anointed, but if you don't obey simple instruction from the Lord, you can't see power. You can carry great anointing and hot oil, but if you do not obey the little instructions of the Lord, you can't see his wonders. Listen to me. One of the keys for us to see the wonders of God in this month is for us to obey. Obedience looks very, very technical, but it's very easy. If only you can but obey, you will see the wonders of God. If only you can but obey the voice of God, you can see the move of God. God is speaking to somebody here tonight. God is speaking into your life. I don't know what is that thing that God is asking you to do. I don't know what is that area of your life that God has been instructing you about. It is time to obey the voice of God, because if you can obey God, God can show up in your situation. If you can obey God, God can liberate your destiny. If you can obey God, God can rescue your life. If you can obey God, God can rescue your children. So many people, the reason why their children are going wayward is because God God gave them a simple instruction. He said, train up your child in the way that he should go, that when he is old he shall not depart from it. But those people thought otherwise. They thought they knew more than God, and today their children, they are suffering the consequence. Listen to me. Simple obedience to the word of God, simple obedience to the instruction of God can be the determinant factor for a change in your life, can be a determinant factor for a change in your destiny. It can be a determinant factor for a change in your home. Listen to me. If men can but hearken and obey, God can show up in the affairs of men. God spoke to Abraham in the book of Genesis chapter 12. When you read from verse 1 downward, God spoke to Abraham when he was still Abraham. He said unto him, he said, depart from thy father's house into a land that I will show you. Listen to me. And Abraham, then he was called Abraham, he did not doubt God. He did not argue with God. He did not say to God, God, I have all I need in my father's house. Where and why will you take me to a distant land to bless me? Literally speaking, does it mean that God cannot bless him in his father's house? Does it mean that God cannot draft in the blessing to his father's house, to locate him wherever he is? But God was testing his heart. Listen to me. When God gives us an instruction, he is testing our heart to see the condition of our heart. There are so many people that profess God with their mouth, with their lips. Their lips tell wonderful things about God, but their heart are far away from God. So God began to test the heart of Abraham to see if Abraham's heart was in line with his heart. Because if your heart is not in line with God's heart, God cannot change your name from Abraham to Abraham. Because if your heart is not in line with God's heart, God cannot change your name from Jacob to Israel. If your heart is not aligned with God's heart, God cannot change your destiny from suffering to riches. Listen to me. You have to be in alignment with the heart of God. Your heart needs to be in alignment with the heart of God. And so constantly God is always checking the heart of his children to see if the heart of his children are in alignment with his heart. And that is exactly what God was doing to Abraham. Then he was called Abraham. He said to him, he said, leave your father's house, leave the plenty, leave the abundance of food, leave the abundance of your of entertainment, leave your relatives behind and walk with me. I want to show you a land that I'm going to bless you. I want to show you a land that I am going to uplift you. I want to show you a land that I'm going to, through that land, I'm going to take you to greater height. That in that land you are going to experience my power. In that land you are going to experience my wonder. In that land I'm going to take you to higher places. Listen to me. There is a location located by God for your destiny to shine. And until you are in obedience and your heart is in alignment with God, to obey God, to enter into that place of rest, you may not find abundance. Listen to me. A simple obedience to the voice of God can be the little salt in that soup that will spice up your destiny to the limelight. There are so many people that are in bondage. There are so many people that are struggling and crawling. There are so many people that are under the captivity of the devil. Why? Because they choose not to obey. Saul chose not to obey God, and the Spirit of God departed away from Saul, and Saul was brought to nothing. Saul, that was a king, a mighty king, he was brought to nothing because of disobedience. Listen to me. I don't care to know What is that instruction that God have instructed you with? Listen to me. When God speaks into the ears of men, he also releases grace for obedience. So there is grace always attached to God's divine instruction. All you need to do is to tap into that grace to work for you. All you need to do is to tap into that grace by taking the first step. Until you take the first step, you can't see the provision, because the provision comes with the first step. When you take the first step to move to where God is assigning you to, you begin to experience an overflow. You begin to experience an abundance. You begin to experience God's wonder. Why? Because your obedience triggers God's release. Why? Because your obedience triggers God to intervene in your situation. Why? Because your obedience triggers God to step into your matter. Why? Because your obedience triggers God to release to you and for you everything that is needed for your destiny to come into the limelight. Listen to me. I don't care to know how long you have been in that pain. I don't care to know how long you have been suffering. I don't care to know how much you have been in that stagnation. But tonight your liberation has come. Tonight your salvation has come. Tonight God is liberating you. If you believe, shout amen like a thunder. Barakato bregediatosa, rekoto bregeteza. God spoke to Abraham. He said, leave your father's house. Then he was called Abraham. God spoke. God gave him a clear instruction on what to do. There are so many of us, God is giving us clear instructions on what to do, but we are complaining with God. To some, we are arguing with God, saying to God, God, why must it be this? Why must it be this? Why must it be this? Why must I fast and pray for my liberation? Why must I sow the seed for me to enter into the realms of plenty? Why must I give to project gospel to Africa before I experience your power? God's instruction is God's instruction. If you can but obey, you can receive God's manifestation. Listen to me. Obedience to instruction is what guarantees men's access to manifestation. Your obedience to God's instruction is what guarantees your moving into your surplus. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Obedience pays. If you can obey God, God can do anything. The Bible said, is there anything too difficult for God to do? For every level of upliftment, there is an instruction. There is sometimes things you need to do to move into that level. God spoke to his people in the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 20. When you begin to read from verse 21, 22 downward, God spoke to them. He said, in this battle, he said, you will not carry a sword, but you will take the trumpet, you will take the brass, you will take the instrument of praise. Listen to me, it didn't make sense. There are sometimes in your life, it may look like God does not make sense. There are sometimes in your destiny, it may look like God does not make sense. But if you can obey, that thing that God spoke will begin to make sense. And in the initial state, it may not make sense, but when you begin to take the first step, it will begin to make sense to you. Why? Because God's provision starts setting in. God's divine intervention starts setting in. God's divine elevation starts setting in. And when these things start manifesting, when you start encountering the raw dimension of God, you begin to see that what God said to you surely must come to pass. What is that thing that looks so difficult in your life? If only you can but obey God, God can liberate your destiny. God can liberate your life. God can change your story. God can take you to the next level. Your light can shine again. Your destiny can rise again. I don't care to know the chains that hold you bound. I don't care to know the cage that you have been held bound. I don't care to know that stagnation that have been following your life. I don't care to know that difficulty or challenge that have been ravaging your destiny. But tonight I speak as God's prophet. If you can but obey God right now, receive your miracle. If you can but obey God right now, receive your breakthrough. If you can but obey God right now, receive your destiny back to you. God spoke to them. He said, this battle is not the battle of swords. It is the battle of praise. It didn't make sense. How can you be sending an army to fight against 3 nations? Not one, not two, 3 nations with population of host of armies ready to devour God's people. But God spoke to them. He said, listen to me. Don't look at the armies. Don't look at the nations that have come against you. There are so many people. You are looking at your situation. You are looking at the circumstance. You are looking at your resources. You are looking at things around you. Don't look at your resources. Look at God's resources. Don't look at your situation. Look at God's power to change your situation. Don't look at your present state. Look at God's power to change your present state, because God is the same yesterday, God is the same today, and God is the same forever. I have come as God's prophet to liberate you. I have come as God's oracle for liberation. I have come as God's messenger for elevation. I have come to liberate your destiny. After tonight, your life will never remain the same. After tonight, your life will never remain the same. After tonight, you are moving to that place of encounter. After tonight, you are moving to that place of rest. After tonight, you are moving into your destiny. That door that seemed locked for you, right now, that door is open in the name of Jesus. Obedience is the key that unlocks any door. Listen to me. There are so many people struggling. They are expectant of a door to a miracle. They are expectant of a door to a breakthrough. They are expectant of a door to a lifting. But right now, if you can obey God, receive your miracle right now in the name of Jesus. God spoke to his people. He said, this is not the battle of swords. He said, take the trumpet, take the brass. To some it may look awkward. To some it may look weird. To some it may look funny. Listen to me. When you are following God, you always sound weird. When you are following God, you will always sound weird to the world. When you are following God genuinely, you will always sound weird to the world. You will always sound awkward to the world. You will always sound funny to the world. Why? Because the world cannot comprehend the things of God. It does not make sense for Adam to leave provisions, to go to a distant land that he knew nothing about, with little resources, just because God spoke. Listen to me. It looks very funny for God to speak to Abraham and say, take your only son Isaac to the place that I will show you and sacrifice him for me. It looks very strange to some people in today's world. They will say it is not God that spoke. How can God speak to your ears to do such a thing? Listen to me. It may not look like it, but when God speaks it, it must become it. It may not look like it. You may not look like what God is promising you. You may not look like God's promise right now. You may not look like it. You may not look like what God is promising your destiny. But if you can but obey and go to that country, if you can but obey and go to that city, if you can but obey and go in the direction that God wants wants you to go. God can liberate your life. You begin to see the light of God. Your destiny will begin to move to the next level. Your light will begin to shine. That thing that took years for you to get, you will get it very quickly in the name of Jesus. Listen to me. Elijah, in the book of First King chapter 17, when you read from verse 11 downward, Elijah encountered the widow of Saraphat, and this widow had just little provisions left that she wanted to eat with her children, and then she would die. But Elijah came into the house. He said, this little provision that is left for you to eat, he said, make for me first. Make for me first, and you will encounter God's glory. Listen to me. We have sent out the project gospel to Africa, where we are sending the gospel to Africa, where we are sending the gospel to Africa and around the world, and we are calling for people to key into this blessing, to sow and to give, to key into this blessing. But some of you may say, what resources do I have to give? How much do I earn before I give? How much do I earn for me to give? I don't earn enough for me to be a part of gospel to Africa. I don't earn so much for me to be able to give the gospel to Africa. It is not about how much you earn. It is not about what you have. It's about your obedience to God. If you can but obey God, you will see surplus. That was what the prophet Elijah said to the widow of Saraphat. He said to her, he said, these little resources that is left, perhaps you are looking at what is left in your account. Perhaps you are looking at what is left in your home. Perhaps you are looking at what is left in your savings. If you can but obey God and call right now and begin to give for the gospel to get to Africa, for the gospel to spread around the world. If you can but write to us right now and call us on the phone or locate us via WhatsApp and begin to write and begin to send in your offerings and your givings for the gospel to get to Africa, God is able to change your situation. Elijah said to this widow, he said, make for me first. Don't look at your savings. Don't look at what is left in your bank account. Don't look at the resources that you have left. He said, make for me first. If you can but obey God to make for me first, you can encounter God's glory. And the woman made for Elijah first, and from that day Elijah blessed her oil, and her oil never ran out. This woman that was about to die, this woman that was about to use her last resources to eat and then she would die, she became an international distributor of oil. Why? Because she obeyed. If you can but obey God, that company that looks like it's about to fold up, it will not fold up. If you can but obey God, that business that looks like it's about to close, it will not close. If you can but obey God, that employment that you are expectant of God, God will give it to you. If you can but obey God, that marriage that looks like it's about to collapse, it will not fail. It will not collapse. If you can but obey God, that situation that looks hopeless, hope will begin to come into that situation. If you can but obey God, that marital partner you have been praying for, that marital partner will come to you divinely. If you can but obey God, if you can but obey God, your destiny can come back to life. Wherever you are right now, I want you to key into this project Gospel to Africa. We are sending the word of the Lord to Africa. We are reaching out to our brothers and sisters all over Africa and all over the world. And you need to key into this blessing. You need to be part of it. Write to us now. Locate the WhatsApp. Locate our Facebook. Locate us on Facebook and begin to write to us. Man of God, send me the bank account. Man of God, send me the PayPal link. And by the special grace of God, when you check through our page, you will see our PayPal link. Send in your offerings. Send in your givings. Because $100 can touch a soul. $200 can touch a soul. $1,000 can touch a soul. A $10,000 can establish a branch of a church. Listen to me. God can do wonders through that little resources that you think is not enough. Put it in the hands of God and trust God for a success. Put it in the hands of God and trust God for supernatural provision. Put it in the hands of God and you will see what God will do. He's the God that never fails. He's the God that never changed. If He did it before, He can do it again. Till we meet again, this is Apostle King Favor. God bless you. Mato brakatoko sobra kishka palagonto razeka talagaso supra iska balagenda naparato parede shipro into paladiaka rabato brokoto parata ziga de pronto kotosha rete kalabadasha libronto zigadashke belananta